All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. And this video is healthy alternatives to venting. And this is part of the series of educating my community on healthy mental health practices, how to manage depression without medication, toxic medication specifically, and just debunking some of the things we've learned from outside our community that are not effective for our community, not effective at all, and especially not effective for our community. And what this is about is us really taking the time to look into our own behavior, analyzing and asking, is it working for us, and some alternatives that we could make or changes that we could make to do and be better. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button if you find the information valuable to you, and hit the notifications button so you can see when I upload more videos. I'm committed to making more videos that are going to be of value to my community. Okay, so let's jump into it. For me, it's very important to have systems. It's very important to have organized information and organized approaches in place to help us really process around more than me just saying, and I got to say it this way because I love my people and I know my people. A lot of times, I'm watching videos where I can't even really absorb the information because of all the extras. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be a little extras in mine too. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? We're passionate people. However, I make the attempt to organize a little bit, and put it in ways that make sense, And sometimes I'll borrow from outside of our community because that tool makes sense. And I feel we're entitled to that. We've been robbed from so much that, and we're owed so much that anytime I take something, I feel like, yo, say something. But whole time, the point is, I really want to give you this information in an organized way that it can, make sense and you can really process it rather than me just going off the top of the head. So I take notes. I got my notes right here, and I put them in systems and groups and things like that. So I got few pieces a few pieces of information, and let's go right into it. So now here's why I'm shooting this video on this topic, because a lot of us, and I've had conversations, one not so long ago, where a sister was like, well, and I was sharing with her what I found on venting being an unhealthy process, because your body or your mind doesn't know that you're reliving an experience that's not really happening, and your body responds to that. You know what I mean? When you're venting, you get upset again. You might get upset to the point where you cry. You might get upset to the point where you slap at the way we get upset. You got these hands going and you're gritting your teeth and all of that. All of that is your body is engaging now and preparing for the trauma, and the trauma is not really happening. You know what I mean? So you're getting into a space of exerting the kind of energy where you would be dealing with this situation however you deal with it, but it's not really happening. So it's unnecessary stress on the body, and it's not healthy for that reason. And also, it doesn't feel good. Some people might say at the end of it, yeah, I got it off my chest, I feel better. However, the goal is feeling better. Don't justify the ends with the means. You know what I mean? Or don't justify the means with the end, where let's just feel better and not do something destructive on the process or in the process of feeling better. Venting is not a healthy process. It's not a healthy activity. So we don't want to do it. And I want to also, I got to say this because, again, I know my people, and these videos are for my people. I got to say, for those of you all who get into the habit of doing something, never really thought about it, but you're comfortable doing it, here I come saying, hey, this is not the healthiest. And the way I did it with this sister, she was very graceful and gracious in her, sharing her objection to what I was saying. It wasn't this. But we do this a lot, so I'm addressing this right now. Here I come saying, hey, that activity, that behavior is not healthy. But, here you go, being like, well, I like, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'm not challenging you. You know, I'm not about that. I think we do that enough, and we need. I personally have observed that enough where I don't see the value in that. It's not about arguing, right? What I'm saying to you is, please listen to what I'm saying, and please listen to it objectively, to the point where just because you like it doesn't mean it's good for you. You know, and act like that's not a real thing. Let me see you act like that's not a real thing. It's a lot of shit we like that's not good for us. It's shit that I like that's not good for me. You know what I'm saying? I just know it's not good for me. You know, I like a certain kind of woman that's not good for me. But, you know what I mean? I'll be damned if I'm going to stop liking that shit. You know, nah, I'm lying. You know, she's very good for me. She's not good for y'all. But anyway, I'm saying that to say, do not get into the behavior of getting defensive. Black people, black man, black woman, I love you. You know what I mean? I whole time love you. The reason I'm doing this is because I fuck with you on a whole other level. You know what I mean? I fuck with you on a level of, I'm Robin Hooding the situation. I'm finding information and coming back to you and breaking it up. Like, yo, I done found this, check this out. So I'm not here to challenge you. I'm here to compliment you. I'm here to do something to help you be better and do better. Do not get into the habit of defending your behavior or, you know, shooting down and disagreeing with something new before you understand it and take the time to listen to it. Okay? And don't defend anything. There's no need to defend anything. And once you start getting defensive, black people, it means you're objecting to growing. And you're either, and this is a fact, every human being on the planet, from pauper to pastor, you're either going to grow or you're going to die. You're either growing or dying. Fact. And that's everybody, our community and everybody else. So I want us to be now in a space, you know, let's get off that set in your ways. To be set in your ways is unintelligent. Okay? And I don't want us to get into the I ain't changing. Ain't gonna change, won't ever change. I've seen people from Fat Joe to other celebrities say it, and Fat Joe was lying, and I'm gonna call him out on that because, you know, he was just saying that for the hype points. You know what I mean? But I think, you know, celebrities, they misguide us for points, for hype points. You know, when they know better, dude. You don't lose. Fat Joe lost like 100 fucking pounds. You know what I mean? You don't lose 100 pounds and ain't changing. Yeah. But it's just cool. I ain't gonna change. No matter how much money I get, I'm gonna stay real. No. Change is your friend. Right? Change is your friend. And it's a process that sometimes costs you opinions of others and comfort. But the value and what you get from it, black people, change is your friend. I'm very wary of people who quick to shoot out. I ain't gonna change. It's gonna always be me. Honestly, that's an unintelligent way of thinking, and that's also very basic. Why? Because that's very easy. There's no challenge in that. And shout to Uncle T, you know, brother down here in Baltimore, is doing some great work. Great work. It's called Challenge to Change, right? And his motto, and it's a very real motto and very true. If it don't challenge you, it won't change you, right? So there's no challenge in staying the same. That's very basic. And I want us to be better than basic, okay? We are the most advanced people in the world historically. We've been robbed and beat down, okay? But that's still in our blood. And it's not in your blood to be basic, okay? That's you settling for what's available to you instead of reaching and accessing, you know, what is rightfully yours, which is the best of everything. But that doesn't come from not changing. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to really jump into it. One of the things I learned, and I had to really implement this myself, man, you know, is that, and I think Jim Rohn said it, you know, and Jim Rohn was one of the people I used to listen to before he died a few years back. I used to listen to, you know, a lot. And when he said this, I really just caught it recently. He said, if you want to be successful, you have to become success. What that means is you have to change into the thing that you want to be. The only way to lose weight is you have to become weight loss. You have to be and do the things, You have to be and do the things that are synonymous with the goal that you have, right? And what that means is you now have to do what it is and be what it is that is synonymous with your goal. You have to change into the thing that you want to be. If you want to become, if you want to stop being late, you have to become time conscious. That means you got to look at your clock more and make a plan the day before and stick to the plan. So if you need to be out the house, you need to be somewhere at 10 o'clock, you need to be out the house at 9:30, you need the night before go, okay, what do I need to do? I need to wake up at 8:30, I need to shower, I need to get my clothes together, make a plan, whatever the case may be. So I'm looking around at the clock and I'm watching it, as opposed to just, and I came from this. This is why I'm using this example. I would watch my mother be late for shit that she do every week, and it would blow my mind. And it would blow my mind to the point where, as an adult, I caught myself doing it. Where I'm like, I knew what the fuck, I knew where I had to be. Like this, I remember as a kid looking like, yo, that don't make no sense. How you late for church every week? The church start at the same time. How you rushing? And I used to look like, yo, and then I caught myself doing it. Where it's like you just are not managerial of your time. So you're not looking at your clock going, okay, I need to be out there. I out the house at 10:15. It takes 30 minutes to get there. From get there at 10:45. I need to be out the house at 10:15. If you know that, you know what I mean? So you have to be now, of the mindset to change your behavior to accomplish your goal. You cannot accomplish a goal without changing. So change is your friend. And one of the things, I'm going off on a tangent. Last thing I'm going to say, because I love my people and I know my people. I'm going to do a video on stuff that we need to stop saying in our community, right? One of the things we need to stop saying, I hear adults saying this to kids all the time about, he or she is trying to be something that they not. That is a very unintelligent thing to say. Not disrespecting you, not challenging you, but I'm challenging you in a way of saying, think about what you're saying. Trying to be something you're not, like rich, like healthy, like, whatever else is a goal. The idea is, if you're not something, you want to be it, you have to try to be something you're not. Unless you're rich already, you're trying to get money, and you're trying to be something that you're not. So that's not a healthy way of looking at things, a healthy ideology, and it's something that we really need to. And I'm addressing this to us. So these ideas are stuff that we probably heard, and some of us are probably saying or have said and have thought and have held on to. And I'm trying to tell you that we want to question our behavior based on how it's working for us and actually the intelligence and effectiveness of it. All right, so enough of that. That was just setting the tone. Venting. So I talked about why it's unhealthy to vent, okay? Here are some alternatives, because that's another thing what we want to always do is anytime, Dre 3000 said it in one of the rhymes. He was like, it's not good. You can't tell somebody to stop doing something and not giving them an alternative to what it is they're doing. Stop selling and not giving them an alternative to selling. Adults, elders used to do all the time. Stop doing that, blah, blah, blah. What are we supposed to do? Breathing. Breathing is something you do it's an automatic function. However, it has deep impact on your entire body, okay? There are levels to breathing. Now, as adults, especially, in our community with a lot of stress on our plate, we have learned improper breathing. What do I mean by that? How do you breathe improperly? It's breathing. Okay. The healthiest way to breathe is called baby breathing. Okay? Now, nature is our reference. This is not science is observation of nature. So I'm not quoting science, I'm quoting nature. Okay? Because science also has an agenda. Depending on who the scientist is and what community they're from and they're favoring. Stop me when I start lying. Tuskegee experiments. That's science. So I'm not quoting science, and we need to realize that. Like, it's not about science. Well, what's science referring to? Science says, scientific research says, what are they referring to? Nature. Nature is our example for everybody. At nature, there's nothing more natural than a baby, right? Who hasn't learned, the social norms just yet. They're just doing This is operating off instinct like every other organism. A baby breathes from his or her belly. When they inhale, their belly expands. And when they exhale, it contracts. That's the healthiest way of breathing. That's the deepest way of breathing. You can put your hand on your belly and feel it. You can try it right now. Inhale with me. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Now, I just even did that wrong. Did y'all notice how all of this came up? That's what we do. That's wrong. Okay? So let me do this the correct way. I'm trying to show you how to do it, and I'm doing it wrong myself. Inhale. Exhale. Your shoulders should not move. When you're doing this, that's improper breathing. Your chest and shoulders don't want to come up. It should just be your belly expanding. Put your hand on your belly and you can feel it. Okay? That's a way to access a deeper level of breathing. Here's another breathing technique that you're probably going to be like, huh? Now, there are, you can incorporate this piece of it or let it go. Okay, it's important, but it's not. What's more important is you get the basics of what I'm about to share with you. 9 times out of 10, 9 people out of 10 are breathing through one nostril at a time. Here's how you can check. Close one nostril, either one. You can pick one. I'm going to go with, this is my right, okay? And inhale. Switch. Did you notice one of them was more clogged than the other? Now, that's not something you might have noticed ever in your life, okay? Now, the thing about it is, I think it's 2 to 3 hours, or maybe 3 to 4 hours, but every few hours it switches on its own. Where right now, my right is less clogged. It'll switch, and my left will be left clogged. Now here's you can take it or leave it piece of that, right? It is taught and understood by folks who are really naturalists, right? Who are really in touch, people who live in the mountains and people who study this kind of stuff, right? That the left nostril is connected to the moon, and the right nostril is connected to the sun. And it's not so much moon and sun physically, it's like energy as well. Then the left is calmer. So at nighttime, many times, depending on what you're doing, if you're not engaged in something, naturally, it'll be your left that's less clogged. In the morning, in the daytime, when you're getting ready to start your day and you're perked up, it'll be the right that's less clogged. So let's say you're getting ready to do a game or, do something intense or, something, a workout, right? Your right will be more than likely less clogged because that's like that fire energy, that high exertion, type of energy. And then, of course, again, when you're going to sleep or when you're relaxing, it's your left that's less clogged because you're relaxing. Now, what you can do is to calm the body. This is a calming exercise. It's like a balancing exercise as well between left and right. Is, with your thumb and your pinky, or whatever finger you want to use, doesn't matter. Your thumb and whatever finger you want to use, even this way. Whatever nostril is open, or more open, you can inhale, hold it, and close both nostrils. Now, this is a breathing exercise that calms the body. Oh man, I have my notes on this. I actually wasn't planning on going into this, but it's like a series, a cycle, okay, where you inhale and you count to 4. Close. Count to 4. And then exhale. Do the other one. Count to 4. Close. And count to 4. It's called box breathing. I might have been doing that wrong. I'm gonna double check on that. But it's where you inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Now there's certain, in the military they teach you that, I think it's doing like the Navy SEALs training, they teach you box breathing, which you're not holding with your fingers, you're just doing it automatically. You're with no hands, right? But the process of doing that, and you can switch the counts up. There's ones that say 4. There's ones that say inhale for 4, exhale for 8, hold for 8, and exhale for 12. You can do it, and you'll instantly calm down, no matter what's going on. You'll instantly calm down. Now, what I want you to value here, ladies and gentlemen, is the calming down. Getting that stress out of your body more than rah and venting. Value because at the end of the day, when you're venting, the goal is to be done with it and calm down. But the re-grasping of the tension is not healthy. We have enough tension. I want you to have less tension, not more. Okay? So the breathing, and I'm going to research that breathing technique, the count, and make sure I get it right, because I don't want to give you wrong information. Box breathing, I know, is 4s. But there's techniques, and the techniques are different. They'll give you different second counts, right? I would say play with it, you know what I mean? And just find rhythms that work for you. But I'm going to find one that I did research, or not research, but I found in doing some research. And matter of fact, I should be able to pull it up right here, right now. I wasn't actually planning on talking about that, but or that part of the breathing exercise, but okay, here I got it. But I'm glad it came up. So left, right nostril breathing. You breathe in for 4. Wait. Hold for 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not looking at the clock for real. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Release for 8. Okay? And then the 8 count is 1, 2. You count to 8. And then you do it again. In for 4. Hold for 12. Release for 8. Inhale for 4. Hold for 12 seconds. Release for 8. And then you switch in between left and right. And that is one of so that's the official time of it. That is a breathing technique that will instantly calm your body down. This is some, you know how we'll get information late in our community. Like, we'll get stuff that, other communities been doing for a while, and then it's like, okay, when we get it, we'll be like, yeah, okay, it's real, it's good, it's healthy, whatever. Like yoga. How long did it take for yoga to penetrate our community to the point now where we're doing trap yoga? Yoga is one of the oldest forms of exercise, meditation, and balancing. Is more than just breathing. It's more than stretching. Yoga is like an act of worship. It's like an act of communing with the universe and communing with nature. Like, it really gets deep, and it's not some foo-foo flaky stuff. No, we have been so ingrained in our city environment, urban, we forget that before these buildings was here, it was trees and dirt, and we're a part of that. We've been so separated and closed in our box of city, that we forget that before that was here, it was sun, moon, stars, water, you know what I mean? And we had whatever we had to eat, we had to either hunt it or pick it, okay? So getting back in touch with nature is like foreign now. When people start talking about it, it's like, and it's like weird. But nah, bro, like we wasn't born with just buildings, all right? So the ideas of stuff that's healthy for us often hits our community late. And I want this piece right here, this breathing technique, I want you to just try it because it's healthy, it's proven, and the goal is beneficial. Okay, the goal of it, the objective of it is beneficial to you. It will help you calm down. Value calming down more than being right? I know a lot of us have reasons to be but value calming down. A lot of us make decisions out of that's costing us. You know anybody locked up right now that wish they wasn't, wish they had calmed down, wish they had walked away, wish they had taken the L? Okay? That's real life. Stop me when I start lying. Okay, so breathing is a very impactful way of calming the body, a better way. And you can do it where I want you to walk away from a situation and go breathe and just calm down. Can't necessarily do it while something's in your face, right? So breathing is the first one. There are 5 W's that can help you not vent. First one is wait. Find your phone, find a watch, and wait 10 seconds before you respond to anything. I'm looking at my notes. Wait 10 seconds, and you can count, backwards from 10. You can count out loud. You count in your head. Before you respond, somebody get on your nerves. You can do that in their face. Completely ignore them. And just wait 10 seconds. In that 10 seconds, there's some things you want to think. You know, one of the things you want to think is, what's more important than this? There's a 5-second exercise that's kind of incorporated in this 10-second. This is the 5-second exercise that I use to teach people how to manage anxiety, but it's incorporated in this waiting piece for not venting, right? Because venting means it's gotten to you. What I want it to do is not get to you where you don't need to vent. So this helps you to have it not get to you. So wait, and you go, what's more important than this right now? And I don't care what you're doing at that time, because at the end of the day, nothing is more important than your peace of mind. No job, no family member, no person, no traffic, no nothing is more important than your peace of mind. So it doesn't matter what the situation is. They can wait 10 seconds. Prioritize yourself enough to give you 10 seconds to level out. All right? That's what that is. So wait and ask yourself, what's more important than this right now? What is this person really trying to do? What is their agenda right now? Okay. All right. Let me make sure that I am not feeding into something that I'm not needing to feed into. Let me make it a goal of mine. Make it your goal to stay at peace. Some people are okay with flicking off throughout the day. They just causes too much stress. It's not really worth it, right? Save that energy for something more important. I'm not saying it's never important to go grr, right? But we go off for the dumb shit. We go off at work. People, you know. Don't call my. I've done this. Like, I got so pissed one time. Somebody called me, and when they called me, I just went off, and it ended up being bad. Because I'm the dude who be like, yo, don't call my phone talking about something I need to vent. You got the wrong one, shawty. I'm not listening to that shit. I got my own problems, you know? And so, you know, wait 10 seconds so you don't need to vent, okay? And get to the point where you feel like you're in control again, okay? So that's one W. The other W is walk. Walk and walk in a specific way. Don't just walk away huffing and puffing. I want you to walk in slow motion. Deliberately walk in slow motion. Now, you might be in a room full of people where you'd look stupid doing that. I get it. If you don't mind, like, if you don't give a shit what they think, go for it. But when I say walk in slow motion, walk at a slower, more deliberate pace than you usually walk. You know, looking at your feet, looking at the ground, and just take 5 or 6 steps. And maybe 5 or 6 steps back. And by the time you come back, those 10, 12 steps, it's a way to step away, and then when you come back, you have a different look on the situation. You know, you cannot be as engaged. Again, the point here is to not need to vent. So this is how you defuse the situation so you don't need to vent in the first place. Then there's also things that once you, let's say that doesn't work or you're not able to do that, right? You just got caught up, okay? We're gonna get to that in a couple of the other steps. Watch. Not a watch, but watch. I want you to look at a clock or some device and then breathe like a baby. Some device meaning something that's moving. Watch a clock moving, or if it's a digital clock, watch the blinking on it, right? Or something that's moving, even if it's a TV that's on and just the image of the moving. You know, you're not saying watching the TV. I just want the movement. I want the movement to be what you're focusing on. If it's a flag blowing, you know what I mean? If you're not in a space where something is moving, look at your clock, look at your watch. And in that time, breathe like a baby, okay? And focus on your breathing. And you can put in your mind, I want to calm down. Let that be your goal, yo. Calm down. And keep doing it until you calm down. One of the things they robbed us of is time. Take the time to invest in yourself. Don't feel like you have to react to everything right away. You don't. You don't. Time Somebody taught me this years ago. We give time value. If you're not utilizing time and inserting time into the things that you're doing, you're 9 times out of 10 devaluing. And listen to all this stuff that we learned as a kids. You know, um, um, fast money or fast success is not good success, right? Take your time. You know what I mean? The fast life, things like that, where we're admonished to take our time, but as adults, we don't take time. We are, right? It's the same principle applied where when you do things fast sometimes, you miss things because you're just not taking the time to look at what's all around you. So the whole punchline for this is time. Take your time. It's all right. It's all right. Whoever it is can wait. I want you to prioritize you. There's nobody more important on this planet than you. Here's how I know. Of all the people that's important to you, think of everybody. Any leaders, co-workers, your pastor, whomever. Who was there when you were born? Who's going to be there when you die? Stop me when I start lying. There's nobody more important than you. Take the time to make sure you're good, because nobody else is going to do that as much as you are. Okay? So, if you're in a situation where you can't walk away for real, you can't. The goal is to calm down. Look at your watch, and if somebody asks you what they're doing, they can wait. I don't even have a watch on, but I'm doing my belly breathing. What'd you say? Not even what you say. You know, if you want to come back with that, you can. Or you can I will ignore the shit out somebody. I'm so good for that. Say something dumb. And so, what we gonna do? And I completely change the subject. I will ignore the fuck out of somebody. You know what I mean? Because I refuse to give you, which is the next point. 2 points ahead. I refuse to give you the leverage of feeling like you got me. You got my goat. You know what I mean? You got me upset. You got under my skin. I think people who take pride in getting under people's skin have their own mental health issues. Why is it that that's like a good thing to you? And I'm not gonna let nobody get under my skin. Listen. Yeah, I'm good for that shit. Anyway, so the next one is whistle. A whistle or whisper. Now, this is, a lot of women in our community are often in positions, and I'm not gonna hold you, but the black woman to me is an anchor. And as a man, I have been served so much by the black woman. I feel it's my obligation to serve them back. So this one is really a lot more for them. I can't see too many dudes doing this. But especially when women are in situations where they gotta bite their tongue, a work situation or whatever the case may be, they got babies at home, they don't have the liberty of just flicking off, you know what I mean? Because they gotta keep the lights on, right? So this one is a lot for women, where I want you to whistle, and if you can't whistle, whisper. Because again, the goal is to not get riled up. So you gotta be slick about it, okay? But this gets the situation. It's a lot of times what we'll do is we won't say anything at the time, and then come home and take that shit out on everybody else. Stop me when I start lying. But that happens too. So this is to avoid that and to not let it get to you at all to where that's necessary. So you want to whistle or whisper, and if you can't whistle, one thing you can whisper is the Pharrell song. Because I'm happy, you can hum, and get into it. And I want you to reprioritize in these moments, because what this gives you is a window of opportunity to not engage in the thing that's going to have you flicking off. So in that window, prioritize yourself. Fuck these people, okay? I am going to keep my peace of mind at my highest priority. And in this window, you get a chance to do that. Now, these might sound like really simple things. They are. But if you were to think about how many times someone has come home from work upset about some shit at work, and you're hearing it, and it's like, yo, I wasn't even there. I ain't got nothing to do with it. And you're not in a position to say anything. These tools and techniques stop that from happening. And 9 times out of 10, the way I told you, like I, as an adult, used to find myself being late all the time. And I remember one time, I got to a point where I almost missed a flight, or I did miss a flight, and I was like, "Fuck this! This lateness is costing me money." And Malcolm X says, "What you don't hate, you eventually tolerate." I started to hate being late, even though I was in the midst at that time of still always being late. I was like, I hate being late, and eventually it started to stick, where I just rewired my mindset to hating being late, and now I hate being late. You know what I mean? And the reason I'm saying that is because even though I noticed it as a kid, and I was like, that shit is whack, I ended up doing it. And so I'm saying you might have been the kid in the house watching this parent or adult come home, or whomever come home, bringing their work home on you, and you might have been like, that was whack. You know what I mean? As a kid, and you ended up doing it. It happens. So this is a way for you to monitor that behavior and prevent that behavior from happening. So winding down. So you can whistle or whisper that song, you know what I mean? And if you're not in a space where you can walk away, you can separate yourself, I want you to separate yourself mentally and really prioritize yourself and your peace of mind in that moment. Next one is who. The last one is who. I want you to ask these questions. Who is this person that's trying to make you mad? What value do they have in your life? Are they a stranger? And a stranger just means, yo, I'm not married to you. Yeah, you might sign my paycheck, but there are hundreds of other people who can do that. And I'm not telling you to just devalue your job to the point where you want to quit and be like, fuck this shit and walk out. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is put that person in their place. Okay? If it's an employer, you're not, I'm not sleeping next to you at night. You know what I mean? You got your own issues. 9 times out of 10, you got a crazy boss that they got their own crazy to deal with. Okay, don't get caught up in it. I want you to really ask that question: is it a partner? If it actually is the person you're sleeping with at night, okay, and you know them, okay, that's a little harder. I'm not gonna lie, but the same principle applies. It's okay to get upset, but never let anybody set your soul on fire. Not for real. I mean, you can get mad, but don't get out of character. You know what I mean? We really need to measure that and stop that. And these were these tools before were to stop you from going over that ledge. Okay? Because we have a lot to push us over the ledge in the first place. So the less we go over the ledge, it's just better for our mental health overall. So this is when you're looking at the person in the midst of the situation, I want you to really devalue them. In that moment, just you are not built to get me. No. What you not gonna do is have me out here acting out of character, thinking out of character, feeling out of character. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Anybody. Okay? And depending on who it is, you're gonna have to negotiate the situation differently. But at the end of the day, the goal is to still be the same. Right? So really ask yourself, who is this person? And it's just another way of settling down. It's another way of not getting over the ledge. So let's say they get you over the ledge. Okay, now this is the 5-second exercise. The 5-second exercise is when you're there. Okay, and I developed this when somebody called me, this is a few years ago, and she was there. It was one of my clients at the time. She was there, and I was like, all right, Shadi, I'm gonna need you to calm all the way down, because this shit ain't that serious. It usually not. It usually isn't. Okay, and we get emotionally charged up behind other shit. Like it's not. I used to say this in my youth groups. Yeah, when somebody comes in on a Monday morning to school, and you brush across their Jordans, and you ain't even really leave a whole mark. You can't even see it for real. You looking like, you know what I'm saying? That's a goofy ass look on my face. You looking like, yo, what's the real, you know what I'm saying? What's the real? And the reason is you barely brush their Jordans and they go slam off. It might not be the Jordans. It might be you drop something, you at home as a kid, you drop the phone. Phone ain't even break. Their parent, mom, dad go slam off and you like, yo, let's say you do break something. You break a glass, you break a plate, you break a whatever. It's just a fucking plate. Who died? You know? And that's the attitude you take when you look at somebody going all the way off behind something that's not that impactful. It's not the thing, it's what's going on behind it in their head and they stuff that they're not dealing with. That is that thing that you dropped is the straw that broke the camel's back. And so we don't want them to get to that point where they're so overloaded that one little thing can flick them off, right? But in the case that you are there, what I want black people to do is value calm, value peace, more so value being peaceful than being right, value being happy than being right. You could be dead all the way right. Once you engage, you lost. Once you go off, you lost. You know, and that term right there, you know, my boy just said it to me the other day. He was like, yo, I was right, but I wasn't happy. You know what I mean? We value being right. Gotta be right. Gotta make my point. You know, and some people value making a point over making sense. Don't be that person. You know, especially to your kids. Because your kids, I remember when I heard this when I was like 12 or 13 years old. You know, your kids listen to you. Well, how's it go? Your kids hear you, and then they judge you, and eventually they might forgive you. But you do that dumb shit that you know is wrong. Yeah, you. You know in the back, you know you want some dumb shit, and you just try and slide it across. Because that was what was done to you as a kid. So you feel you're entitled to do it too, because you make excuses for your parents. So you're entitled to do this too in your mind. You know it's wrong. And you do it anyway. And I'm telling you, you know, value peace. Be wrong. You know, I'm not saying put yourself in harm's way. That's not what I'm saying at all. Stop trying to make, stop trying to make, you know, shit up. You know that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what I'm saying, not what you're saying or what you're hearing. What I'm saying is be wrong if you're in a situation where you know that it's safe to be wrong, because the peace that comes from you being wrong is more valuable to everybody in the room. Be okay with not taking accountability or ownership for something you didn't do. That's not what I mean by being wrong. What I mean is, don't feel like you have to be right, or don't feel you have to make a point. Like I said, like, you know, you're in a situation where you might feel differently. You don't have to voice that. You don't. Well, I gotta say, no, you fucking don't. Keep the ROI and the ROE. You know, the ROI, yeah, I'm right. The ROE, disrupting the flow of the room, the flow of the family, the flow of whatever. And start managing it where peace is the higher priority. And when you do that, you know, wisely, and there's nobody wiser than us, when you do that wisely, your children will learn to do that too. Because when you see kids start flicking off over simple shit, guess where they learned that from? And act like you don't know. Okay? So value, let's reprioritize and value peace, value our own peace of mind. Okay? And so these tools will help to get you to not flick off. And if you do flick off, so I'm actually getting to it. I mean, we got a minute left, so we're gonna wrap this up. The 5-second exercise. Somebody called me one time, was going off, and I said, I'm gonna count to 5, real slow. It might be 7, right? And I want you to list all the things that are way more important than what you're going off about right now. Ready? I want you to do it right now. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And for her, it was my daughter, my family. I'm trying to remember everything she said, but it was things like that. And then the punchline was, you know, in addition to the things that are more important, what are also things that this thing that you're upset about cannot affect that. The things you're upset about cannot have any impact on it at all. And as soon as she started listing them, she just started to calm down. Because it's like, oh yeah, my job, my idiot coworker, he can't really affect my relationship with my sisters. You know what I mean? Things like that. 5-second exercise is very powerful. Very powerful. So in 5 seconds, once you list the things that you are extremely grateful for, that you value extremely much, and that whatever you're upset about cannot impact in any way, shape, or form. Very powerful exercise in calming you down after you've gone over the ledge. But you have to have the goal of calming down. You have to value being calm and stop valuing being upset so much. Stop wanting to fight all the time. Damn, you always want to fight somebody. Chill out. Love you though. So, whole time this is about us really healing us and coming off of some of the things that are staples in our community that, when we think about it, are not healthy. And if you haven't thought about it, I thought about it for you. It's not healthy. I want you to be healthy. You might not have ever thought about it, because this is what you used to do and this is what you came up doing. It's not healthy. It's not helping you and it's not helping your family. All right? And if you want to find, or I should say, if you want to give and find different things to give, better things to give to your kids, you want to give your kids something better than you have and do better than you've done, take the time to measure your behavior objectively, not on the fact that you like it. Some people like being angry, they like fighting, they like conflict, they like getting under people's skin. Is it healthy though? Not is it right, is it wrong, is it healthy? Right and wrong is subjective in some cases. In some cases it is. But healthy is not. Healthy is not subjective. Like, when you work out and you drink a lot of water and you eat a lot of vegetables, you're healthy. You know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't matter what, like if you could be 300 pounds and you started doing that, if you do that consistently for 30 days, you are healthier than you were 30 days ago. So you're not necessarily in the optimal health, but you're on your way there because you're exhibiting healthy behavior. Healthy behavior is not questionable. You know what I mean? You can tell by the results of it. What result is it going to get you? And if the results aren't happening immediately, you can measure it and say, well, if I keep doing this for 60, 90 days, 6 months, a year, what results am I going to get? That's how you measure health. If you keep doing it long term, what results are you going to get? If you keep flicking off long term, if you keep getting angry long term, if you keep blowing up long term, you keep walking off of jobs long term because you're mad at your boss, what results are you going to get? That's how you measure healthy as opposed to you just liking something. All right? So those are healthy alternatives to venting, where you can prevent getting upset to the point where you feel the need to vent in the first place. And when you do get upset, that 5-second exercise is an immediate calm down, and baby breathing always works. Thank you very much for listening. Again, if you find some value in this information, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button so other people can get, so you can get notifications or when I share new videos, and share it if you care so other people can get the value of this information as well. I love you. Remember, manage your mind, manage your circle, focus on the win.